Broadcasting from our Q City studios in Bijilo, I am Mariette Sidibe and this is QTV News. Coming up, fact-finding report on Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation saga reveals lapses and violations of service rules by protesting staff. The Gambia Police Force officially inaugurates the headquarters of its newly created Anti-Crime Unit. And the Jani Commission members embark on another tour of premises belonging to former President Yahya Jammeh. Those were our headlines, and now the news in detail. The panel set up to investigate the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation saga has exonerated its managing director, Mohamed Manjang. The chairman of the panel, Lamin Samate, in presenting the fact-finding report to President Barrow, revealed that the investigation showed lapses and violation of service rules by the protesting staff of the corporation. Alim Sise reports.
The investigation panel chaired by Lamin Samate, chairman of the Public Service Commission, was tasked, among other things, to investigate the circumstances surrounding the petition by over 200 staff against their managing director, Mohamed Manjang, and ascertain the veracity of their claims. The staff had accused Manjang of corruption and nepotism, something Manjang denied. The panel was also assigned to come up with recommendations that will settle the dispute and also recommend how to avoid similar crises in other public institutions. The crisis led to the suspension of Managing Director Mohamed Manjang and Momodu Kamara, staff representative at the board level, for the panel to carry out their investigation. Presenting the report to President Barrow at the State House in Banjul on Thursday, panel chairman Lamin Samate reveals, among other things, that the investigation shows that the protesting staff violated the service rules by not following the due process as stipulated in the Labour Act. The staff, he also added, marched to the State House in protest without securing a police permit and also spoke to the media without the endorsement of the Social Security Management. According to Samate, the committee did look at the background of the crisis, the various incidents that took place, and also interviewed parties concerned.
It is the view of the panel that the people who have broken the law, the regulations, and the staff rules during the crisis be disciplined by the board. The rule of law and stability at our workplaces must be maintained in order to bring about the benefits of development to the people. There were serious lapses in the way the staff expressed their concern for redress and settlement. Section 15, subsection 2 of Labour Act 2007 states that where any question, difference, or dispute concerning the employment relationship arises between an employee and employer, either party may report the matter to the commissioner, who shall take such steps as seem to him or her to be expedient to encourage settlement between the parties. The staff ignored this section and took their own way to pursue their dispute. The staff took industrial action by ignoring Section 139 of the Labour Act 2007, which required 14 days notice to the commissioner. Industrial action of which 14 days notice in writing has not been given to the commissioner is an improper industrial action and may be prohibited by the order of the High Court in the application of employer affected by the action. The staff ignored Section 3, subsection of the Ombudsman Act of 1997.
Lamin Ndiba is the Minister of Agriculture, and he spoke on behalf of the Finance Minister Mamburin Njai.
The Commission was tasked to bring to light by pulling together all relevant information regarding the crisis. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, I am pleased to pronounce that the report is completed for presentation after 6 weeks of engagement. Your Excellency, the report to be presented today covers a series of fact findings prior to and during the crisis. It sets out the main findings of the Commission, including the insight and implications that might be derived from such crisis, and offers solid recommendation for informed decision-making.
Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service, Ibrahim Okamara, says the crisis at the Social Security was a matter of concern to the government and President Barrow, which led to the establishment of the panel. He is of the hope that the findings and recommendations will help the government in their decision-making process.
What happened in Social Security was a matter of serious concern to the government of the Gambia, and this is why we applaud His Excellency for the insight, the decision, the bold step taken to constitute a panel that will look at the issues independently and provide advice.
For President Barrow, the report will help in making correct decisions in the interest of the workers and the social security. He therefore thanked the panel members for completing the assignment within the given period.
It's a very important day in the history of this country. It's very important as far as this new government is concerned. I mentioned earlier when this assignment was given to these panel members that is a test to our democracy. We have been tested, but with the cooperation of everybody, every Gambian, I think we can build a strong foundation for our democracy to move this country forward. It is the only way. Others can help, but the ultimate responsibility is with the Gambian people. We acknowledge the good work and the effort of the panel into the assignment they were tasked with, and we thank them for completing the assignment within a very, very short period. That means you took this assignment very seriously. I think everybody is waiting for this report. The report will help government in making decisions. I will sit down with my team to make sure we look at the report. If there is need for us to consult you, we will consult to make the correct decision in the interest of the Gambia, in the interest of social security, in the interest of workers in this country.
Now that the report has been presented to President Barrow, what Gambians will be waiting to see is how soon the President will act on the recommendations. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The Commission of Inquiry looking into the financial dealings of the former President Yahya Jammeh Thursday continued its site visits. The team, which was led by Chairman Surahate Jane, visited Banjul and Farato. The aim of the site visits was to enable the Commission to have first-hand information on the facilities. Omar Jallo accompanied the team, and he now reports.
As the Jane Commission continues to investigate the financial dealings of former President Yahya Jammeh and his close associates, the chairman of the commission, Surahate Jane, and his commissioners visited Wedna Gardens along the Banjul Highway and Farato Gardens to see for themselves the activities that have been going on in these gardens. The overseer of the former president's farms and gardens, Major Salif Kaur, was at hand to guide the commissioners and answer their questions regarding the gardens. At Wedna Garden, the commissioners asked about the size of the garden, the type of plants in the garden, the number of plants and seedlings, as well as the cost of seedlings, to ascertain the amount of money spent on the garden. Major Kaur told the commissioners that Wedna Garden is about 61,000 hectares and that there are different varieties of plants, including palm trees from Malaysia, cocoa trees, bananas, and baobab trees. He said that he doesn't know the exact number of trees planted, but there are over 2 million seedlings in the garden.
Wedna Garden also is part of, the president's, former president's farms. So they feel they should visit and know exactly what is happening there and what is in there, so that, maybe during the course of their report, they can report perfectly and know exactly what is in the garden as well. I told them what is in the garden, like the trees, the seedlings which are there lying and nobody is utilizing them, because, we have a lot of seedlings there, these palm tree seedlings, and they are from Malaysia, and they are not being transplanted, which that it will be very necessary maybe for them to see it and try to do something so that, at least, maybe government will take step, or the commission directly will take step in order to do things that that will be a benefit to the whole Gambia as far as the seedlings and the garden is concerned.
In Farato, the case was different, as the former Gambian leader was more into animal rearing than tree planting. Some of the animals reared there are cattle, camel, sheep, and poultry. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Gambia Police Force on Thursday officially inaugurates its anti-crime unit at Bijilo. The unit is responsible for fighting crime and has been making progress in reducing crime rate. The colorful ceremony event was attended by the Gambia Police Force High Command and saw both flags of the Gambia and Police Force hoisted. Ibrahim Abalde reports.
The anti-crime unit came into existence in April 2018 following an alarming rise in crime rates and an outcry from the public. The anti-crime unit, which has been in operation since then, has made significant strides in fighting crime. The unit succeeded in breaking a series of criminal cells and apprehending high-profile criminals and recovering stolen properties. The Inspector General of Police, Alhaji Mahmoud Job, in his speech, described the event as a historic one, saying the event was the first of its kind in the history of the police force. He said the police responded to numerous reports of crime by creating the special unit.
At our level, as the senior management at the time in 2018, April, we decided to come up with an approach. And this approach was geared towards minimizing the crime trend that is often reported at our police stations. And to this end, we decided to make it a trial, a pilot trial, by having the unit centered at Kerava police station. We realized their efforts. It had been forthcoming, very encouraging on a daily basis. That was how we decided to ask through government to have this place allocated to them for it to be used as their operational headquarters.
IGP Job assured the anti-crime unit of his full support in execution of their duties and urged the general public to cooperate with the police in making the country a safe place.
I have taken cognizance of the two constraints that you have highlighted, and I can give you assurance that the Ministry of Interior has given the approval and the blessing to make sure that we will try to provide all that it takes to make sure that you operate effectively and efficiently.
The officer commanding the anti-crime unit, Gurgimbub, said since its inception, the anti-crime unit has registered a lot of success in the fight against crime.
Since its inception, the anti-crime unit has registered quite a lot of success in the fight against crime. The anti-crime unit have successfully dismantled over 52 criminal hideouts in the Greater Banjul area and 11 criminal dens in West Coast. In the past 6 months, 98 offenders has been sent to the courts for offenses ranging from robbery, sub-breaking, house-breaking, burglary, theft, among others, of which 78 were convicted and 20 others are still standing trial.
The Assistant Inspector General of Police, Landing Bojang, also shed light on the need to have the anti-crime unit in the Gambia.
The Gambia Police Force, in its effort to contribute to the socio-economic development of the Gambia, conducted a security assessment and came up with proactive and reactive measures to reinstitute normalcy in the security landscape of the Gambia. There were days when citizens and non-citizens were afraid to go out on their lawful activities and even afraid to sleep because of increase of criminality within the greater Banjul area. The Gambia Police Force will never relent to ensure that peace and security reinstates in the Gambia. We are challenged as well as motivated by the high expectation of people of the Gambia in us.
The CEO of Star GSM, Mr. Lamin Kaba, responded to appeals to assist the anti-crime unit by donating fuel, solar lamps, and mobile phones. Ibrahim Balde, QTV News.
Before we end this bulletin, we recap our main headlines. Fact-finding report on Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation saga reveals lapses and violations of service rules by protesting staff. The chairman of the panel Thursday handed the report to President Barrow at State House. The Gambia Police Force officially inaugurates the headquarters of its newly created anti-crime unit. The colorful ceremony also saw the hoisting of the Gambia and police flags. And the Janet Commission members embark on another tour of premises belonging to the former president, Yaya Jammeh. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news.